Now this, President Trump says President Obama should shoulder most of the blame for Russia meddling in our election. All rise. Judge Andrew Napolitano is here to discuss. We're hearing a lot more about this, that the Russian meddling went back 2014, 2 years before the presidential election, before Donald Trump had probably thought about running for president.
Well, he indicated as far back as 2011 he was going to run, but the pattern that Bob Mueller and the grand jury have set out shows about $45 million spent between 2014 and 2017. The New York Times quotes some of the Russian people involved as saying there were 1,000 of us. Now, a project of that magnitude could only have come from the Kremlin itself. So why didn't the Obama administration find it? We've known since the revelations of Edward Snowden that the NSA's 60,000 spies in the United States without warrant can and have been capturing every keystroke on every mobile and desktop device, all fiber optic cable transmitted, and all phone calls. Why didn't the government find this? Why didn't the FBI know about it? Why didn't the NSA find it? Answer: information overload. Spy on everybody, you get too much information to sift through. But this is an assault by foreign spies in a manner against the best interests of the Obama administration, which surely wanted Hillary to replace him, not Donald Trump. One would think they would have found this and done something about it. To Bob Mueller, he wasn't appointed until after Donald Trump was president. He comes by after this has been done.
But to the president's point, no direct proof of any collusion.
Okay, so Bob Mueller has indicted 13 people whom he will never try. Because they're never going to come to the U.S. Why do you indict somebody you're never going to try? To smoke out somebody that you can try. To smoke out any American collaborators. It is almost inconceivable that an effort of this magnitude and this level of sophistication had no American collaborators. And if they're there, whether they're in the Trump campaign or not, Bob Mueller will find them.
Interesting. I wanted to get you on this as well. The New York Times suggesting that Justice Anthony Kennedy could retire. Any insight on that, Judge?
You know, the story that I hear is Justice Kennedy told Justice Scalia that he, Kennedy, would retire as soon as a Republican was in the White House. When Donald Trump got elected, he said, well, let me wait and see who he appoints to replace Justice Scalia. The president appointed not only a former clerk of Justice Kennedy, forgive me for the other clerks, but Justice Kennedy's favorite former clerk, Justice Gorsuch. Justice Kennedy now loves working with his former clerk, now his equal on the court. So I don't think the Kennedy decision to retire is going to happen anytime soon.
Is his health good?
His health is good, and he's that pivotal person. He's the most powerful person on the court. Sandra Day O'Connor once held this position. He swings with the conservatives or he swings with the liberals, and whichever way he goes, 5-4, he gets to make the call.
He's the key person.
Yes. Why would you want to give that up?
Well, he's got a new lease on life is what you're saying. Judge, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.